Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of 101 Guitar Lessons. My name is Lauren. Today we are going to learn the magic, the secret behind finding every single note on the guitar. Really, really simply, okay? So, how would I know that like this is a G or that's an A or here's a B flat? You know, how do I know all these notes? It seems really overwhelming at first, and it is. But the simplest way to break it down that I've found through the years of teaching and learning myself is basically to think of it like a piano. Now, I know we're on the guitar and this is not a piano lesson, but let's drop the guitar for a second and take a look at the piano to see what I mean. All right, we're back, and here's a keyboard. Here's the smallest little portable keyboard I can find to use this example. We've all seen a piano before. We know what it looks like. There's white keys and there's black keys, okay? But I like to break it down even simpler. So if you see, there's a grouping right here, okay, of 2 black keys and then 3 black keys, and then 2 black keys, and then 3 black keys. And I like to think of it like the 2 black keys kind of look like eyes and there's a nose, so it's like a little face. And the 3 black keys kind of look like a 3-eyed monster. So little face, 3-eyed monster, and it repeats and repeats and repeats. Now, why does that pattern repeat? Because there are only a few notes in music. There are only 7 natural notes in music. The musical alphabet are A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That's it, okay? And of course, we're talking about Western music here, rock, pop, country, blues, jazz, everything that's sort of Western classical that we know. So if we look at the little face, for example, here, this side of the little face, this is the C, all right? And all the white keys are the natural notes, just like we discussed. So if we started from C here, it'd be C, D, E, F, G, A, B, then C again. Notice C is that kind of like right cheek of the little face. Always. That repeats and repeats. So that nose is always going to be D. D. Now again, why should you care about this? Well, it's very simple. The smallest distance we can take in music is called a semitone or a half step. That's when you go from one key to the next key. All right? So if I started on C, the next note up is not the next white key. There's a black key in between, so I would be going to the black key if I went up by semitones, all right? So this C goes up to this black key, which happens to borrow its name from its neighbor. So this is called a C sharp. But guess what? It's also neighbors with D. So it borrows its name from D if it's going down, lower, D flat. So these black keys, they're called accidentals, have 2 names. They're either called C sharp or D flat in this case. This one here happens to come in between D, so it can be called a D sharp, or E, it could be called an E flat. Make sense? Hope so. So, another great way of looking at it would be on the whiteboard. So let's move to the whiteboard really quickly, and then we'll show you how this transfers to the guitar. All right, we're back with the whiteboard now. So you can see my arts and crafts skills. I drew a keyboard. Now, all of these white keys are the natural notes. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, and then it starts again, D, E, on and on and on and on, okay? Repeats over and over and over again because there's only 7 notes. And as I mentioned, the black keys are borrowing their notes from their neighbors. So this black key here can either be a C sharp or a D flat. This one could be a D sharp or an E flat. Okay? Now what happens between E and F? There's no black key. What does that mean? Basically, it means that there's no accidental. In this case, and theoretically you might refer to it as an E sharp, but generally speaking, there is no E sharp or F flat. It's just E to F. That's the semitone. Those the smallest step that you can take in music is the semitone, right? And 2 semitones, sometimes you'll hear something like a whole step or a whole tone. That's just 2 semitones. So C to C sharp is a semitone. C sharp to D is a semitone. A whole step up or a whole tone from C would be to D because it's got half and a half. All right, simple math. We're musicians. We can't make it too complicated. All right? So that's the basics of understanding how to find the notes on the guitar. How? Well, here's the thing. There's no black key between E and F and between B and C. So there's no black key between E and F and B and C. That means that between every other note, there's a black key. There's an accidental. There is a sharp or flat. So if I went up chromatically, meaning the smallest notes at a time, semitone notes at a time, then I'm going from C to C. It would be C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C. So between E and F and B and C, there are no sharps or flats. If I was going backwards, I tend to use the flat names. That would be C, B, B flat, A flat, G, G flat, F, E flat, D flat, C. Hope that makes sense. Let's go to the guitar and see how that applies. All right, so back at the guitar, why did we learn all that piano stuff? Well, let's cut off all the other strings, not literally, just figuratively. Let's concentrate only on the 6th string. Now we know that the 6th string is also called the low E string. All right, so that means that this string starts open on an E. We can think of it as like a piano starting on E, except on the guitar, there are no white keys and black keys to separate, but you go fret by fret, and each fret is a semitone. So because there's no white keys and black keys, we just have to memorize that there's always going to be a black key in between every natural note except for E and F and B and C. Okay? So if I went chromatically up the E string, the low E string, it's like a piano starting on the E key. The next note up on the piano from E would be F, because there's no sharp between E and F. So the first fret is F. After F, there is a black key. That would be F sharp. Okay, also called G flat, but we'll just use sharps on the way up, okay? Because sharp is one higher from the name note. So E, F, F sharp. The next key up is G. Going up, the next one would be G sharp, A sharp, B, and then C, because there is no B sharp, C sharp, D, D sharp, E. Yes, notice at the 12th fret, everything repeats, okay? So open, E, 12th fret, E. That means at the 13th fret, it's F again, just like the first fret, okay? Again, it's the same notes, just in a different context on a different instrument, okay? So if we just look at that one string, it's like a piano starting on the E. We go F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A, on and on and on and on, okay? Now, if we went backwards, we can think of the flats, okay? So we went E at the 12th fret, E flat, D, D flat, C, B. From C to B, remember there's no black key. From B, we go to B flat, A flat, G, G flat, F, E. Again, no black key between F and E. So that's all you have to do to figure out the notes on each string. You think of each string as its own piano, its own keyboard, okay? So if I did that on the 5th string, that would be the A. It's like a piano starting on A. So I know after A is A sharp, B, C. Again, there's no sharp between B and C, so B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, on and on and on. Again, notice everything repeats at the 12th fret, so open A is A at the 12th fret. Backwards, A flat, G, G flat, F, E flat, D, D flat, C, B flat, A. Okay? And you can do that with every one of the 6 strings, because we know the low E, the 6th string is an E, it's low E. The 5th string is A. The 4th string is D. The 3rd string is G. The 2nd string is B. And and the first string is E. So we have to have that memorized, obviously, first. If you don't, that's your first go-to. An easy way to do that would be with a rhyme like everybody goes down and eats. E, B, G, D, A, E. Okay? Great. Now, that's one way to memorize how to figure out where the notes are, and that can take a little bit of time at first. But here's a really quick way to figure it out. Once you know the first string, or the sixth string, or the sixth and fifth string. So there's a way to look at it with octaves. So now that we've got that concept down, we understand all the notes of all 6 strings, and we understand how to find the notes on each string individually. Focus your attention on learning the notes of the 6th and 5th strings in particular. Why? Because that's really your home base for a lot of the power chords, you know, or bar chords, whether it's the 6th root or 5th root. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm making sure that I'm finding the root on the 6th string or the 5th string. Once I know those notes, then I'm good to go for the rest of the guitar. Here is that trick that I promised you at the beginning. So you're going to learn octaves, octave shapes to find the other notes on the guitar. For example, if I'm on the 6th string here, okay, the 6th string, and I play that G on the 3rd fret, I know that just by playing the octave shape, I can skip a string and go up 2 frets on the 4th string and play a G. There's a G in relation to itself right there. Okay? So 6th string 3rd fret, 4th string 5th fret. All I have to remember really is that when I play whatever note, I can play it on the 5th fret. I'm always skipping a string and going up 2 frets. All right, so I'm finding the octaves that way. All right, all the same note, just an octave higher. So that's the great way to find the notes on the 4th string. From the 4th string, if we went back to G, okay, and I put my first finger where my 3rd finger is, then I can skip a string and go up not 2 frets, but 3 frets. I know there's a G there now. So, if I know there's a G here on the 6th string, I automatically know there's a G here just due to the shape of the octave. And then an octave up from there, I know skipping a string again and going up an extra fret, so going up 3 frets, there's a G on the 2nd string. Okay? Now, let's bring it to the 5th string. Let's say that I wanted to know where all of the C notes are, for example. So I know that because the 5th string is an A sharp, B, C, C is on the 3rd fret, okay? So I'm going to do the same thing here that I did with the 6th string. I'm going to skip a string and go up 2 frets. And there's my C on the 3rd string, okay? C, C. I can move it anywhere, D, D, F, F, E, E, it doesn't matter. All right? So here I am on the C. Now if I want to switch my fingers around, play that high C with the 1st finger now, and skip a string and go up 3 frets, I found the C on the 1st string. Okay? So I know there's a C on the 5th string, on the 3rd string, on the 1st string. And that's a quick way to jump through and find the notes on the guitar once you've established some comfort with the 6th and 5th string kind of as your home base, okay? The other thing to realize is that the 6th string and the 1st string are both E, right? They're keyboards, if you will, starting on E. So the 1st fret, E, F, well, E, F, F sharp, G. Same thing, it's just jumping up a couple of octaves, but it's the same notes. So I know if I find a B flat on the 6th fret of the 6th string, I know that on the 6th fret of the 1st string, it's also going to be a B flat. So that's another way of doing it, okay? Another way of finding the octave shapes. So there are a few other shapes as well. Let's not get into that to confuse things. Let's keep it nice and simple, okay? Right now, we've got 2 shapes to deal with. Starting on the 6th and 5th roots, we're just moving over 1 string and up 2 frets. If we're going to the 4th or 3rd string, you know, the higher octaves as the home base, then we're going over 1 string and up 3 frets. Now, a lot of jazz guys you'll hear playing. They're playing that kind of West Montgomery octave style. When you hear that, that's all that they're doing, is they're using those shapes. So with those 2 shapes in mind, you can memorize everything over time. But to get started, use them as a great shortcut, okay? That's a great way to get around the neck. That's it for this lesson. You now know how to find all the notes on the guitar to be able to play all the chords, all the scales, everything that you want to be able to do. Nice and easy. If you have any questions about this lesson, leave a comment down below. Remember, if you haven't already, please subscribe, like, and share these videos. Every little bit helps. It's a new channel, so thank you so much. And that's it. If you have requests for other lessons, please leave comments in the section down below, and you can find links to a bunch of stuff in the description. All right, thanks guys. I'll see you guys on the next lesson.